Hello, fellow Sudokans. Welcome to Zen and the Art of the Guardian Sudoku Puzzle. It's Monday the 5th of February 2024. I hope you are keeping well. It's Monday morning, early Monday morning here. I'm awake bright and early and ready for a nice week of work. Some Mondays I figure, I wake up and think, oh no, work. And some mornings I think up and think, oh, good, work. Depending on my mood. There's that. But I think the one reason why I'm in such a good mood is apparently, as I record this right now, the Grammys are taking place in the US, which I'm not watching. I dislike award shows, and I think that they are kind of meaningless, except for the fact that they, you sometimes get a chance to hear people that you had not heard before because you become aware of them through these kind of award ceremonies. Samara Joy was somebody I hadn't heard about until she won the new jazz newcomer of jazz or something like that a year ago, or was it 1 year ago or 2 years ago? And she is a superb singer, really good. But it's another superb singer and songwriter that we're excited about today, because I'm sitting here with Joni, who is, of course, named after Joni Mitchell, and who apparently is going to be performing at the Grammys. And I'm sure somebody will be kind enough to upload that to YouTube later on, and we won't have to sit through the whole concert, the whole award show. Rather, we'll just be able to watch Joni Mitchell sing, and that's something really worthwhile looking forward to. Right, this is the game of Sudoku. If you've never played the game before, welcome to my channel. Do me a favor, subscribe and hit the like button and do things YouTubers often ask for. I don't often ask for them, but please do that. It would help a lot. So let's get on with the game now. I should explain the rules briefly. You have 9 squares across in every one of these rows, and you have 9 squares down in every column. Excuse me. I do apologize, couldn't block that sneeze there, but I did not sneeze into the microphone, so you won't be catching anything. 9 squares in every column down, and 9 squares in each of these blocks that are highlighted, outlined in black. Like this. Okay, we put numbers 1 to 9 in each of those squares. Numbers cannot repeat. Of course, there are only 9 squares, only 9 digits, so numbers can't appear more than once, and that's the point of logic that we need to solve the game. We don't guess, and you don't have to use numbers. There are other tokens are possible, just that numbers are easy to use, the easiest thing probably. So how do we go about it? So we have some empty squares here. Look, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 empty positions here. And we have 6, 9, and 2 already filled in this block. Now, do we have a 1 in this block yet? Obviously, no. We've only got 6, 9, and 2. So how do we go about deciding if we need a 1? Where the 1 is located? We do that by looking at surrounding digit 1s. And if you're playing on the computer, it's much easier. If you're playing with pencil and paper, which I recommend for beginners, by the way, you just have to look and use your eyes. So we have 1 in this row. Now I just said a number can appear in its row, column or block only one time. So there can't be another 1 in this row here. There's no space for it. There are only 9 squares. And we have 1 in this row here. There's only enough room for 1, 1. And so we can't have another 1 over here. So you can see that this one here stops these 2 squares from becoming a 1, and this one stops these 3 squares from becoming a 1, and we are left with only 1 open space because 6, 9, and 2 already fill up these squares. So that is where the 1 goes. We know that for sure. We don't have to search for anything else. We absolutely know that it must be a 1. Now let's continue with that 1 that we just placed. It now is going to block up this column, right? There can't be another 1 in this column. That's the only digit in this column, but we know that the other numbers are 2 to 9, not digit 1. Now we have a 1 in this column here, and that's going to block down here like this. So I think you're ahead of me already, right? You've already spotted the fact that because 1 blocks up here and 1 down here, that empty square there must be a 1, right? You found that, didn't you? Well done. Now I'm going to move to the left side of the board here and continue on the 1s, because 1 goes up to the top here and this one goes up to the top here, and we've got 1 coming back leftwards like so, and that's leaving again just one empty space. I mean, that's really the crux of the game, is if you see just one empty space available for that digit, you know that logically that is it, because there is only one solution to Sudoku. There's not more than one. Oh, excuse me. Joni's cat fur somehow or another has got on my lip. It's flying cat fur. It's because I was stroking him before. Joni had his blood tests yesterday for regulars to the channel. My cat is named Joni, after Joni Mitchell, obviously. And he's been very sick for 7 weeks. He's had fungal disease. And yesterday he had to have more blood tests. And they charged me the most amount for one day. It was outrageous how much they charged me yesterday. But his blood work was fine. He's doing okay on the medicine. And his skin is growing back. He had a huge area along his leg that was completely open. Skin is growing back more rapidly now, and it's really starting to close up. And the remaining hole, if you want to put it like that, is quite small compared to what it was. But unfortunately, he does have problems in his ear. And because he's been wearing this collar for like 7 weeks, he can't clean himself. So they have to they bathe him in a kind of soap, which is very sticky. And I try to brush the soap off when it's fully dry when I get him home again. And this morning I've been brushing him. So that means the fur is flying around here. And I'm eating it. Okay, right, let's get on back to the game, which I'm supposed to be doing. Game at hand. Otherwise it'll be time to get on with work soon. We've got 6s blocking down here, and 6 blocking down here, and 6 blocking across here like that. You know what that means. This square here must be a 6, right? We've got 3 blocking across there, and 3 blocking across there, and 3 blocking up here. So again, you know already that's going to be a 3. Now, this 7 can only appear in this block one time. So the rule is not only about columns, rows and columns, but also about the blocks. So we know that 7 can't appear in any other of these squares here. So these 2 squares can't be 7, right? But look, we need a 7 in this column here. Right, and if these 2 squares, if this square and this square are not allowed to be 7, we know that 7 is going to be forced into that square there. Now we should look and see what's left to get down here, because we have a lot of numbers and we only have 2 empty squares in this column. And when we look, we find the missing numbers are 2 and 5. We have everything else, but there's no 2 and no 5. Over here we can see a 2. So that 2 blocks that square there. So we know that the 2 is going to be here and the 5 is going to be there. By the way, if you are totally new to the game and still having a little trouble around the concepts or ideas, then please replay the video, which will do me a favor anyway, because it will, extend the number of views on YouTube. So go back and play it again if you're not sure. We've got 9s blocking, as can be seen here, across these 2 rows and up these 2 columns. And that puts a 9 into that square there. And we also have 9 blocking down here and 9 across there. So down here, there's our 9. Right. What's the next thing? Now, of course, most of the time in Sudoku you spend looking for things. I mean, that's really what the game is about, searching for possibilities. And okay, we have 6 blocking across here like this, and that's going to put 6 into that square. We have 5 blocking all the way across here. That's going to put 5 into that square there. And back to the 6s, we have 6 blocking up here and up here like this, and 6 across there, which means that 6 will fit neatly there. Now this is a kind of move that you'll need to understand if you're going to play Sudoku. We have 4 blocking across here like this. Now there are 2 empty squares here, this one and this one. Which of them is the 4? When we look up here, we don't see any 4s, so we don't know. Can't tell. But we do know that 4 is either here or here. Alright, so let's think about this. If 4 is in this square, it blocks across here like this. And if 4 is in this square, it still blocks across here like this. So whether 4 is in this square or this square doesn't matter. It can't reappear in this row anywhere else. So that means that this square here must not be 4. And there's only one empty square here, and we still need a 4 in this block. So we can say that 4 will be in this square here. And now there's only one digit needed to finish this. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We don't have 8. So we know that it's an 8. Now we can take that 8 that we've just placed and say 8 across here, 8 down here, and 8 down here. You see how we're using the numbers that we place to help us go forward, and that's what we should be doing in general. Right, what do we do next? There are 2 empty squares here. Let's see what needs to go in there. 2 and 4. No, I can't see any help on 2 or 4 just yet. Let's see what digits are missing down this column here. We're looking for 4, we're looking for 5, we're looking for 7. 4, 5, 7. And nope, can't find the answer there. Just looking at this, looking at things across here. So no, that's no good. So you see what I mean by we spend most of the time looking. There are 3 empty squares down here. What needs to go in here? We're looking for 4, we're looking for 5, and we are looking for 7. Yes, and in fact, if I'd been more observant, I would have noticed that the 7 blocks up here, and that puts the 7 there. And that means we will be left with 4 and 5 in this square here. So if we know that this is 4 and 5, which is which? I don't know, but we do know 4 and 5 appear here. That means that we can get this empty square here because this is 4 and 5 only, can't be any other numbers. And so we can see the missing number is going to be 2. We've got everything else. 1, we don't have 2, it's going to go here. 3, 4 and 5 in these 2 squares. 6, 7, 8, 9, so that's 2. Okay. Still some cat fur flying around here, I think. Right, what's next? Well, there are 3 empty squares here, so I should look and see what's missing. We don't have 3, we don't have 5, we don't have 8. No, that's not going to be useful. Oh, yes, it is. We've got 5 blocking here, and we've got 5 blocking there. I almost missed it, but I saw it now. So that would be 5. And now we've got 8 blocking across here. That will be 8. And the last number here is going to be 3. Now 3 blocks across here and back this way, which gives us the 3 in that square there. And we have 3 blocking down here and down here, which means that this will be a 3. And then we have 3 across here, and down there, which means that that is 3. Now, in fact, digit 3, that was our first completed digit. What do I mean by a completed digit? There aren't any more 3s to be found on this grid. We have a 3 in every row. If you check carefully, every row has a 3, every column has a 3, and every block has a 3. So that's it. There aren't any more to be found. Now we can take this 7 blocking down here and 7 across there, which will give us 7 in that square there. And we'll take this 7 back up here, 7 up here, and 7 across there, which means this is 7, 7 this way, 7 that way, and 7 up there. Again, if it's too fast, slow it down or go back and watch it again. 7 down here, 7 up here, 7 across there. 7s are finished. 3 and 7 are both finished now. Now, okay, earlier on I said that this would have to be 2 or 4, right? And when I looked, I couldn't find anything to fill in the pattern. But if there are 2 empty squares in these 2 here, and there are 2 and 4, if you notice, there are only 2 empty squares in this column as well. So we know if this is 2 and 4, this square and this square will have to be either 2 or 4, because there are only 2 empty squares in this column and only 2 empty squares in this block, and this block intersects, or this column forms part of this block, I'm trying to say. So if this is 2 and 4, this square and this square and this square will also have to be 2 and 4. Now, we couldn't solve these two, but we can see the 2 blocking here like this. So we know that this is in fact going to be a 4, and our 2 is going to be here, and our 4 is going to be there. And that 4 will block down here. Okay, there's a 4. I'm just listening to my gardener chat to my neighbor. Right, missing digit up here is 5 for this column, and down here we need a 5 for this block, and back up here we need a need a 2 to finish this column or this column or this block. Same thing, of course. There is only one solution, so you know, which if you find a number from a column or a block, it doesn't matter, it's going to be the same number. Missing number across here is, oh, I was going to say 8. It's not an 8, it's a 2, isn't it? Took me a long time to see that, but it is a 2. We need a 1 to fit in this row here. We don't yet have a 1, and clearly there's an adjacent 1, so that blocks that square there, which means this will be a 1. And the last number we need to finish this row is an 8. Now we have 8 blocking down here and across there like that, so that would be 8. Now there's only one empty square for this row. What is it? 6. And we take that 6 up here and 6 up here and 6 across there to say, here's our final 6. Now, our completed digits now are 3, 6, 7, and 8. Oh, those are the ones that are already finished. So let's see, there are 2 empty squares here. What do we need to fill them? We need 5 and we need something else, 9 I think, 5 and 9. So I can see the 5 blocking this square. So I know that the 5 goes here and the 9 will finish this row or this block, either way. 9 going up here, 9 going down here. There's our 9. And left here is 2 and something. So when I see the 2 blocking up here, I immediately can place a 2 here. And the something for this block or this row is a 4. There's 1 empty square in this column now. What do we need to fill it? We need a 5. We don't have a 5 in this column. We do now. 5 also blocks across here, which will give me 5 there. And that's the final digit, 5. So one more number to go here, which is a 4. 4 blocks across here, which puts the 4 into that square. We only have 1 and 2 to find now. Those are our last 2 digits. So when 1 blocks up here, we know 1 goes there, and our final empty square will be filled with a 2, and that's it. So, you know, practice the easy games if you're new to the game, and hopefully you'll work your way up to something a bit stronger. It's a gateway drug. This Beginner Monday is a gateway drug to Sudoku. So join in. Thank you, fellow Sudokans, and I hope to see you another time for another Sudoku puzzle. Bye-bye.